Hey, it is Smooth Tim and Larry E. Hang on, let me get over to Larry E. Where you at, brother? There you are. What is happening?
Up, man. What's up?
I am doing all right, doing all right. Getting ready to brave some of this winter weather that seems to be coming everybody's way. Yeah, a little bit of snow and a little bit of cold weather going to be grabbing us for the weekend, it looks like, everywhere.
It's gonna
But,
be a cold Thanksgiving.
well, one way to keep you inside and keep you, from being out and around and, hey, well, spend a little bit more time with the family and sitting in the couch watching the football game, right?
As long as your team is winning.
As long as your team is winning. Anyhow, hey man, let us move on. We've had a busy week thus far. It always seems to be a busy week, and then especially when it's time to get into politics. And
Ooh,
yeah, I don't know. Is it time? Let's get into number one. Is it time to dump Trump?
oh
What,
yeah.
some of his endorsed candidates didn't do so well, right? We know that, what was it, Dr. Oz got his butt kicked a little bit in Pennsylvania, eh?
Yes.
And Carrie Lake, yeah, she got beat up in Arizona. Although, yeah, we'll see how she does. But anyhow, and I mean, there's other people out there now that are looking at what's happening with the whatever the way, I guess, maybe some of the novelty of the guy wearing off. I don't know how you want to put that. But anyhow, now it seems to be that some of the big financial supporters too that fund some of these Republicans are starting to think about backing out. And in fact, this is Chadwell Griffin, and he is going to give you his opinion on, do you think Dumpy Trumpy should run or not?
Ken, you spoke favorably about your interactions with the Trump administration and recalled the one time in which you spoke out publicly against the president. Would you support Donald Trump if he runs again for president in 2024?
I think it's time for America to move on. The 4 years under President Trump were so pointlessly divisive, it was not constructive for our country. And I never actually financially supported the president. He called my office, or not he, but one of his fundraisers did, one of his very senior fundraisers who I knew. And I opened with, I grew up in South Florida. And I found it incredibly offensive as attacks on the Hispanic community. Because in South Florida, when you grow up there, those are the people that build your houses, they serve your food at restaurants, and they were my teammates on the soccer field. And I was so appalled by his willingness to play identity politics that I was never willing to support him. Now, his economic policies, by and large, were pretty damn good for America. But his willingness to attack people on the basis of where they came from or their color of their skin was completely inappropriate, and we need to put that chapter in American history behind us.
I totally agree with Yeah, you know what? That is the only reason why I wouldn't vote for Trump because, like he said, identity politics.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned that, and that's exactly what Trump did. He just used identity politics. Anybody that could, that liked him, or if he threw a word out there and they can identify to it, or they jumped onto it, he ran with it. We don't need that. And I'm going to vote against Trump because of all those issues with the racism and he's attacking people and all that. I'm voting this year against him when he run, not this year, when he runs, I'm voting against him because of that.
24, yeah.
Yeah, because of that. Because I don't want to see that stuff anymore. I don't want to see anybody. I'm a veteran. I love my country. My forefathers, which Abraham Lincoln, but my forefathers, the black version of we and my ancestors fought for this country in the Civil War or whatever. And I think that he just totally just disrespected the whole military side with his antics and being the way he is. He's never was in the military. He never wanted to join. He avoided the military. He's not my type of guy.
Yeah, he found a way out. Didn't he have flat feet or some excuse
I
why
got
he
flat.
was not able to get into the military?
Yeah,
I,
I got
yeah, I think
flat.
he
I'm
was
like, who was
drafted
it?
and then he had some lame ass excuse on why he couldn't do it. You know,
The way they attacked the Capitol and everything, that's just horrendous, man. And then it goes to show you how biased America is, because they didn't really do. Those people were not held accountable like they should have been held accountable.
nope.
Not those white people. Those people in general. They could have been black, white, Hispanic, whoever
There
did
was a
that.
mixtures. I mean, there are Hispanics, there are blacks, there are Asian Americans that support Trump and his ideals. It's not just
No, I mean about
some
the way
white
they attacked
guy. You know,
the
I
way
mean,
they attacked the Capitol.
it's
I don't appreciate that.
no.
Yeah.
Those individuals, the MAGAs. But
Yeah.
oh wait, wait. Last night he came out with a new catchphrase. You ready? Because you know it was MAGA, right? Make America
that?
great again. Now it's MAGAGA.
What is that?
So it's like make America great and glorious again.
Not to sound cynical, man, but when has America been that great and glorious? Our
MAGAGA.
country-
So wait.
Hey,
This is a business opportunity, Larry. They could send us all their MAGA shit, right? MAGA. And we could put the extra letters on, and for a small $50 shipping fee, we could get it back to them. Adding those extra letters, we could iron them on, or we could even put them on like with magic markers and stuff, so they wouldn't come
I
off.
know, right? Yeah, get some merch, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because our country is still developing, man. We have a
So
terrible history.
MAGA people, just keep that in mind. We'll put it out later how you can send that to us, and we'll get it fixed up for you.
Yeah, I know somebody. Yeah, we don't need them no more, man. We trying to get our country together. This country has a bad history of racism and thievery and terrorism, all kinds of crap. We don't need that, man. We need to move forward.
You're 100. That is so 100. And let's look at what happened to one election denier, Carrie Lake.
Another high-profile loss for Republicans coming out of the U.S. midterms in Arizona late on Monday. Carrie Lake failed in her bid to become the next governor of Arizona, according to MSNBC and Edison Research. It had been a closely watched test of candidates who, like Lake, were backed by former President Donald Trump and embraced his false claims of voter fraud in 2020. Lake was beat by Democrat Katie Hobbs, Arizona's current Secretary of State. The race drew national attention because Arizona is a battleground state and is expected to play a key role in the 2024 presidential election. In her campaign, Lake had vowed to ban the state's mail-in voting, which conspiracy theorists claim without evidence is at risk of fraud.
Free and fair elections again in the state of Arizona.
The issue has fueled distrust among voters about the safety of a voting method used by hundreds of thousands of Americans. Her defeat capped a triumphant week for the Democratic Party as it defied Republicans' hopes for a so-called red wave in the midterms. The Democrats retained their control of the Senate after keeping seats in the swing states of Arizona and Nevada over the weekend, with Vice President Kamala Harris holding the tie-breaking vote. The party could even win an outright majority if Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock beats Republican challenger Herschel Walker in a Georgia runoff on December the 6th. That would bolster Democratic sway over committees, bills, and judicial picks. But Republicans are still edging towards control of the House of Representatives. As of Monday, the party had won 212 seats, just 6 shy of a majority. The Democrats have 206 seats so far, with the vote count continuing for fewer than 20 seats.
So there it is. You know, they thought they was going to have this big wave, right?
They're trying to ride that Trump wave.
And so I think what the Republicans are seeing is, you know, people aren't so enthusiastic about Trump's message as the message to make the necessary changes.
Trump is just too messy, man. He's okay. At the end of the day, let's be realistic here. At the end of the day, we don't want our president on Twitter. We don't want our president grabbing booty, saying we're going to get rid of all the Mexicans and having people jumping in backs of U-Hauls with guns to do this and then going to the Capitol,
And
destroying
calling
the
them
Capitol.
good guys and patting them on the back.
But yeah, we don't want a militia of brothers and sisters banning arms just to protect themselves against all this crap that's coming in. Because this is what happened with black people. We counterattack, we counterpunch. Okay, that's what we do. We counterpunch. We ain't gonna start it, but if it starts, we gonna like the Black Panthers, the Malcolm X's, the Farrakhan's, and stuff like that. Those organizations, they were brought together, made up to counteract what was going on, the way our country treated our people. So that's what's happening. We don't need a counterattack to the government. We need to just go ahead and move forward and let the government do its job. Even if they're lying, at least don't do it the way Trump did it. We know everything is not going to be perfect, but Trump was horrible.
Yeah, it should be real. Man, he is horrible.
He was horrible as a president. Everything he did was wrong and it was messy. And it's scary.
And it'll be interesting to see, since he announced so early, and there's a lot of speculation, I guess you would call it speculation, on why he did that to help try to avoid some of the prosecution, with what's happening with the J6 committee and some of the other things that's going on. I mean, I think he pretty much exonerated himself from some of this tax evasion stuff in New York because he's got everybody else in the forefront to throw under the bus before they get to him, right?
Yeah, we need to move on from that guy. The other guy was right. When your own constituents, I always say the word wrong, constituents turn against you, you done fucked up.
Yep.
And, you know what I'm saying?
It'll be interesting to see what did he call him? I got a little thing from Ron DeSantis. He responded to Trump's member. Trump called him Ron the Sanctimonious. But anyhow, so he responds, man, and check it out. This guy probably going to be running up against Trump.
We would like to know what you think about Trump's big announcement and some of the less than flattering comments he has made about you.
Well, one of the things I've learned in this job is when you're leading, when you're getting things done, you take incoming fire. That's just the nature of it. I roll out of bed in the morning. I've got corporate media outlets that have a spasm, just the fact that I'm getting up in the morning, and it's constantly attacking. And this is just what's happened. I don't think any governor got attacked more, particularly by corporate media, than me over my 4-year term. And yet, I think what you learn is all that's just noise. And really what matters is, are you leading? Are you getting in front of issues? Are you delivering results for people? And are you standing up for folks? And if you do that, then none of that stuff matters. And
that's true, man.
Yep.
The proof is in the pudding. At the end of the day, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me, or what can you do for me? What can you do for me? So,
I mean, you think about it. I mean, he is kind of like, he's a hard Republican. He's the one that sent the plane load of them from Texas to Martha's Vineyard, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the guy that did that?
That's the guy that did that. But, and he was trying to prove a point, I think his you can think what you want. I thought it was a little bit wrong the way they went about it. I mean, I think they completely misled those people, promised them jobs, all kinds of shit to get them there to play that game. But in any event, I think he's a better choice than Trump.
Well, honestly, I don't like him either.
I mean, he's got his issues that I may not like about. Well, let's look at Biden. I mean, my God, you. What does he bring? What's he really bringing to the table?
Yeah, the pickings are slim. At the end of the day, these are politicians, and they say I sure hate to waste my vote, man. But I'm gonna do my research this year.
Please do.
Up until it's time to vote. I'm gonna do my research and actually start paying attention. And I'm not gonna waste my vote. I really don't want Trump in office.
I think it's important for everybody to really, carefully look at what's going on. And as I said, hey, am I going to vote for Trump? I'll tell you right now, no way. Do I want to support Bernie? Man, I think I mean, not Bernie, but like Joe, both of them. I mean, I really think there should be term limits personally, but I don't think some of these people should be doing how many terms in these offices. How come the only place they have a term limit though is on the president? He can do 2 terms? But these other people,
2 4-year terms.
Yeah, these other people in Congress can be there, and in the Supreme Court until they're skeletonized.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. But in any regard,
It's sad, man, because then you look at the Supreme Court, how the black dude he'll sell out, and then you add the sister girl in there, and then she just had to join in because she wants people. I'm like, you really don't have anybody real to shoot. And then we got Herschel.
We need a
I'm
good
like,
leader.
if Herschel was a little bit more intelligent, then whether he's a Republican or a Democrat, but if
It
he had
doesn't
better-
matter.
better-
We need a good leader.
yeah, he has terrible character. Trump has terrible character. His character sucks.
We just need to find ourselves a good
Unexperienced.
leader. I don't give a shit where he comes from. Just find me a good leader who we can
Yeah,
trust
he
and
ain't
can reach
gotta be a
across
brother.
both ways and get shit done, right?
Yeah, it ain't got to be a brother. It ain't got to be an older white man or a younger white man. It could be a lady. It could be whatever. Or you leading, or you going to get it done. I'm like, I don't care. Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservatives. I can never say those words right, but I just want somebody that's going to go in there and do their job.
Right.
Once they become office, they belong to us literally, because they get paid with our tax dollars.
Yeah, they're supposed to serve them people, not serve themselves. Unfortunately, I think sometimes they forget that they're actually supposed to be here.
And you know
to
what's
serve
crazy? The crazy
people.
part, Tim, even though they have the lobbyists and their supporters and all those people like that, they still get their money from the taxpayers. The taxpayer dollar, the economy, all that money that we use and bring back to the economy goes to those companies, those people that funds those presidents, their campaigns or whatever. So at the end of the day, we actually, with our vote and with our money, we're helping that president get in office because people are supporting him with his campaign contributions. So they need to help the people, man.
Absolutely. Well, moving on, man, and especially, I could see that in some of these things, and here we go, some of these people that try to impose their thought line and their will on us. We've talked about this before, and that comes on to, let's move on to the next subject, abortion. And is it a personal choice? Is it something that the government should dictate? Apparently, a Georgia judge is going to overturn the abortion ban temporarily in Georgia. Check it out.
New at 4, a judge has overturned Georgia's ban on abortion today in a statewide ruling. The ruling says the ban, which would outlaw abortion starting around 6 weeks into a pregnancy, is unconstitutional and violates a U.S. Supreme Court precedent at the time it became a law. The ban has been in effect since July.
Ma'am, okay.
Well, if Herschel Walker because he's running for governor of Georgia, am I right?
Yeah, and then he's an abortion denier, so to speak. Yeah,
He denies he don't like abortion,
well, that's what he says now.
but he done used it 4 or 5 times.
I mean, who knows? I don't.
Allegedly.
Who the hell knows, right?
I don't like abortions, but I'm going to do it this time because I'm.
You don't know. I mean, he could be full of shit. The people coming up there could be full of shit. What matters is, I don't necessarily trust the guy because I don't. You listen to him talk. He is not intelligent. Sorry, Herschel.
Herschel sound like one of those guys from the
But
old family.
you are not a member of the Mensa Society. No, Herschel. I am so sorry, but no.
Remember, like the old Fat Boy, the Fat Boys cartoon with Bill Cosby had.
Oh, hey.
I took out the bot. Come on, Herschel.
That's unfortunately
he did well.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. Herschel looks like I don't know the guy personally. I watched him play football. He was decent. I know he's an athlete. I like that part about him. But other than that, politics is hard, and some people don't belong. If you can't talk to the people right, if you got to use an interpreter to instead of talk like this, he got somebody saying, well, what he said was. So he got a guy standing by him saying what he said was. Like you deaf or something. That's the part about it. It's like you hear him, you like, that's another language. And then plus on top of that, he's not even a politician. He's like Trump. He's another one of these guys. There's no
we'll see how that rolls. And that runoff is December 10th in Georgia, something like that. So we'll see how that goes. If I'm incorrect, somebody could pop in here on the show and let me know. But I think it's December 10th.
I shouldn't make fun of a brother like that because I know people say, "Why you being Herschel down like that?" This. It ain't about that. For one thing,
that's not about what it is.
Yeah,
it ain't anything prejudice or racist. It just happens to be that He
I'm not a
doesn't
fan of
belong there.
politicians. Yeah, I'm not a fan of politicians, whether you black, white, Hispanic, male, female. But all I'm saying is we need to get somebody up there that can at least sound like they're going to get some stuff done. That's what I'm saying. Sound like. I know I'm country. If you talk, I talk real country, and I heard myself on the shows after I listened to them. Like, man, I talk country.
Oh, I got myself a drawl. Got that country drawl.
I ain't got nothing on Herschel, boy.
No, not whatsoever. Hey, man. Anyhow, speaking of Texas and Texas draws and everything else, you see what your governor went and did? Not your governor, yeah, would be Governor Greg Abbott, right?
Oh.
The guy in the wheelchair.
I ain't standing for this.
He ain't standing for this invasion shit that's going on. Invasion USA. Check it out.
We are tracking updates at the southern border. Today, Governor Greg Abbott declared the influx of immigrants coming in from Mexico as a, quote, invasion. He has now invoked the invasion clauses of the U.S. and Texas constitutions to make his case. He says the decision allows the state to take unprecedented measures to defend itself. Abbott says that decision falls within his constitutional authority, and now he's spelling out what these changes could mean. First, he wants to deploy the National Guard to safeguard the border. The troops would be authorized to turn back immigrants trying to cross the border illegally. It would also declare all DPS troopers to also be able to arrest and return immigrants to the border if they have crossed illegally, and to arrest people for criminal activity. Abbott says he wants to also build some wall in border counties and deploy gunboats on the water. This all in response to the rising number of migrant crossings we've seen in the past several years.
Invasion USA.
Man, how do you think the Native Americans felt when the British came over and took over there? Come on, man. Who's counting them? Is there somebody staying over the border? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, we already got 20. That's enough. 20 is enough. Some of y'all, counting. Is it somebody with a clicker just counting the ones that crossed?
But I thought it was interesting that he invoked an invasion act.
Gunboats.
And now he wants to have gunboats and have the military down there. And I mean, it'd be interesting to see where that goes.
Then he want to build another wall. You can't stop Hispanic people.
You're not going to stop migration coming in. I mean, you can stifle it. I mean, we've seen before. I mean, if you build the wall, they're going to go under it. Or they'll go around it.
Or they'll fly over it. One of them.
They were doing that too. So I mean, they were using those drones, right, and dropping the stuff off over the wall, so they didn't even have to climb it. So
they didn't. It's not going. You cannot prevent people from going over a piece of land or. That's the dumbest thing I heard. You can't get over it. You can't stop it. Oh, you know why you can't stop it? You don't have enough manpower. You can't take all the state troopers and put them on the border. You can't get all the boats and put them on the border. You can't take all your manpower and just focus on one piece of a border. It's land. You just walk.
That's a lot of border if you think about it. I mean, you're going from Arizona, like California, Arizona, Texas. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of miles.
You can't. There's not enough people. You have to call like Black Panther, the Wakanda people, and put like a force field around it or something.
I mean, we know there are some areas, right, that there's no way they're going to be able to get around it because it's canyon-like. But yeah,
Man, I got some Mexican homeboys that are relentless.
They'll figure it out. They'll build a bridge.
My home is relentless. You ain't finna stop them. If they want it, they gonna get it. They are relentless. I wish you would try to stop me from crossing the border. I'd be like, really? You want to stop Larry from crossing the border? I'm getting past the border.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. But
it ain't gonna work.
I thought that was funny that Abbott, he's always trying to do something, and I didn't have any idea that there was such a thing as an invasion act and that the governor could actually invoke it.
That's stupid. He roll his ass down there and try to stop somebody from getting on board. They'll push him out of the wheelchair and move, bro. And wheelchair trying to tell me I can't walk across the border. You can't walk.
He's like Xavier with Dr. X and shit.
When people try to go by, try to use his mind to stop, not cross
Stop
the border.
crossing the border.
I'm like, man, you ain't no X-Men. Move. Get your ass down.
Oh, hey, man, on to bigger and better things that we can actually do here in the good old U.S. of A., and that would be exoskeletons for disabled veterans.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it and let's discuss this. I came across this. I'm like, this is super cool.
"39-year-old Luke Sprotty is paralyzed from the waist down, the result of a spinal cord injury he received in 2009 while in the Army.
I slipped and fell off of a rope climb I was actually doing.
He's been in a wheelchair ever since.
You ready, buddy?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Hold for stand.
But now, some hope that could change.
Begin sit-up and begin lean.
This is probably the most hopeful technology that I've researched.
Excellent.
For months, Sprotty has been using this exoskeleton at McGuire VA Medical Center in Richmond, Virginia. It propels him to walk based on his body's rhythm.
If you shift to the left, the advance the right leg. If you shift to the right, the advance the left leg. And this is how you get this reciprocal pattern of stepping.
Essentially, the suit does the work for him, but a clinical trial here hopes to change that.
So we train the patient to step, that's the whole idea. Then we can get rid of exoskeleton for the patient to stand, step, and walk.
For that to happen, patients in the trial, like Sprotty, go through what's known as epidural stimulation and spinal cord mapping. McGuire, one of only 2 centers in the world, using a new version of implantation that does not involve breaking bones.
It was relatively non-invasive. We were up and going by the same day.
The big things that we noticed that just really few weeks after implantation, their leg muscles comes back as normal. Surprisingly, without even doing any type of exercise other than just turning on the stimulator.
A potentially major breakthrough for some 45,000 veterans living with spinal cord injuries. Sprotty is still early in the process, but he's hopeful.
I try not to get too optimistic, but I'm hoping that everything works as well as it has for other participants here. I'm taking some steps with any luck.
No, that's great, man. That's what we should be doing. You gotta excuse me too. I was sneezing. My allergies kicked in, so
we can have a feel-good moment. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's real nice. Yeah. That's how we should use our tax dollars, not only just for veterans, but for anyone in need, kind of like they do the transplants and stuff like that. That'd be a great idea, and then it'd help you learn how to walk again on your own. That's the incredible part about it.
We've talked about this, technology, before, in the way that they can use this robotic technology. I'm going to call it artificial intelligence, whatever it may be, and all combined into making this all work. It can be done for good. Again, it can be carried away. I mean, we've all seen the movie and what happened. Yeah. So, but hey, keep it under control. And there's good things, and that was kind of a feel-good moment when I seen that. And I'm like, hey, that's kind of slick that they can do that. And then they said that the exercise actually stimulates the muscles enough that he may be able to eventually walk again.
Right. Yeah, without even exercising, it just stimulate it and build muscle. So I hope it works. It's better than somebody wasting millions of dollars flying to the moon or flying to outer space or some crap.
Going to Mars.
Other idiots are doing. Yeah.
Populating Mars.
Why not just let people walk again? I'm like Greg Abbott. He put him in one of them so he can walk his ass across the border and stay over there. So.
There you go.
Put him in one and then go and talk that trash. It's hard to beat a guy up in a wheelchair. You don't want to do that. That's a bad look on you. Put one of them suits on him, then send him to the border. Let him go there and say, I ain't standing for all these Mexicans crossing the border. Then see what's going to happen to him.
They were actually, there was another one that I ran across, and it was kind of interesting. And basically what they would like to do with it is, it's a type of a mechanism that you would strap on, kind of like a backpack. But it would also, you would step into it like with your leg harnesses, and they want to implement it into the armed forces. And what it does is it allows a person to just carry an excessive amount of weight, because redistributes it all mechanically, so they're able to, with very little effort, carry a maximum amount of weight.
Kind of like Iron Man.
Yeah, kind of like Iron Man, right?
Yeah, we should be using all the technology like that. Even then, consider this. Say we have a war going on. It'll be more beneficial to us to have mechanical or artificial intelligence fighting the war and see who has the best artificial intelligence to win the war and go like that. Or you want to get more technical, let the leaders fight, see who win or lose, and then they won the war, and then you go back to the drawing board.
I think they can do it kind of like rollerball. Remember rollerball?
Or how they do it in Troy, when the best fighters fought against each other, and then pretty much that's it.
There you go.
But they're using artificial intelligence right now for the wrong reasons. They need to start using for something good like you have right there, and that's incredible. That's great.
That was incredible. And speaking of, sometimes even technology can go astray. And we found that over the weekend, and that happened like within the last 24 hours. If you've been watching the news, everybody went completely apeshit, ballistic crazy when a couple of missiles landed inside of Poland and killed 2 Polish people. It hit some housing, some residential areas, and killed 2 Polish people, believing that it was part of when Russia was just bombarding the hell out of Ukraine. But apparently now they found out it may not necessarily be Russian missiles, but it could have been actually Ukraine defense missiles. Interestingly enough, though, their defense missiles aren't made in Russia. Check out the video.
We begin with Poland's president calling a missile blast on Polish soil an unfortunate accident. 2 people are dead after the missile landed close to the Ukrainian border. A Russian attack on Poland would be a significant escalation in the war and could force NATO to intervene. But the NATO Secretary General says it's likely the missile was a Ukrainian air defense missile. Foreign correspondent Tom Sufi-Burridge is at the scene of the explosion with the latest.
The war in Ukraine spilling over the border into Poland, a NATO ally of the US. The moment a missile lands in a Polish village, killing 2 people just 5 miles from the border with Ukraine. At the scene of the blast, a huge crater in the ground. In this video circulating online, and Poland's president calling it an unfortunate accident, not a deliberate attack. But Poland's military is on high alert.
I'm going to make sure we figure out exactly what happened.
President Biden also calming things down by suggesting the explosion was not caused by a missile fired by Russia.
It's unlikely in the minds of the trajectory that it was fired from Russia, but we'll see.
The investigation looking at whether a Ukrainian air defense missile missed its target, landing over the border here in Poland.
So anyhow, yeah,
war. It happens.
It happens, and I had heard on another source that their defense missiles, some of them were bought prior to the invasion, and they were bought from Russia. But then again earlier tonight, I also heard Zelensky wants to have one of his individual on the investigation team with these missiles in Poland, because he's, of the position. It's not Ukrainian missiles. It's definitely Russian missiles.
Well, what did Putin say?
Putin, what do you think Putin's got to say?
Shouldn't he say something? It wasn't my missile. He just don't care. He wants to be a war.
He's going to deny that it was, anything to do with that. That their missiles were precise, and that it was the imprecise Ukrainian defense missiles that caused the problem. But then again, even if that's true, if you wouldn't have been raining hundreds and hundreds of missiles down on me, it never would have happened in the first place.
Yeah, it's time to stop, man, because that's a sovereign country, am I right? Because they don't have anything to do with it.
Right, and then in lies the problem. I mean, that's like you and me. Somebody comes over and punches Larry on the face. Well, I'm not going to let you. You're not going to get away with that.
Or they try to punch me and I duck, then they hit you.
But you follow what I'm saying. I mean, there's that kind of a friendship in between the USA and Poland and Germany and all NATO alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, where attack on one is attack against us all.
Oh, because if that happens, it's over for Russia.
Yeah, right. So that's kind of and so who knows? Maybe
Russia's gonna belong to us.
Maybe Zelensky does have a point. Maybe it was. Maybe everybody else is saying like, let's say it's not, and don't ever do that crap again, right? I mean, who knows?
Right. Hey,
we can come up with all kinds of conspiracies.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you about the Americans. Wherever we go, we don't leave. That belongs to us. So we invade, we go to war with them. That's going to be our country.
Yeah, you don't want us there. Yeah, we just hang
They
out
don't
for a
want us
while.
involved in that.
Yeah, we're like bad relatives and shit, right?
Never leave. They still got them in Korea. They still got us in Vietnam. They still got us in Germany. We still military bases everywhere. We're gonna train your men. Okay, you said that 30 years ago. Why y'all still here? It'll take us 30 years to train one guy. He's 90 now. Why y'all still here?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? They started training when he was 30. Now he's 60. And they still there. Oh, he's 60. He can't fight no more. Why you still here?
But it should be interesting. But on the other side of the coin, and we weren't even going to discuss that, is they did have a little during that the summit, G7 summit. That's what's going on right now. That's why all these leaders were all in one place.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So anyhow, and they had apparently Biden had conversation with the Chinese government too, and the Chinese, in regards to their intended aggression towards Taiwan, right, wanting it back.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, don't intend that to happen right away, and that we don't have any immediate intentions. And yeah, there's another one, but I don't think anything's going to really transpire from that. I don't know if they're equipped to take on everybody.
It's crazy because it's like it's different when you let somebody borrow your watch or your lawnmower. Like, I want my lawnmower back, I want my watch back. I want, something that's small. These fools say, I want this country back. A whole country with millions of people there. They taking whole countries, not a watch, not a lawnmower, not a shovel. You're taking whole countries. You got to be a straight asshole or a badass to say, I want my country back. That's some power. That's not my street, not my block.
I want my country back. Yeah, hey, we'll see how that all turns out. I don't know, Larry. I don't know. Anyhow, hey, we always wish for the best. We keep you guys in our thoughts over there because I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that crap.
No, man. We got enough issues here with Herschel and all these Trumps and all that crap. We're trying to figure this crap out. And then the last thing we need is a war and have them leading it.
But then what happens? You need something done, and what do? You
call a crackhead?
You call a crackhead. So all we can
You want
say,
it done right, call a crackhead.
If you want it done right, you call a crackhead. So what happens when the local crackheads around making you a deal on Halloween candy?
You got all this stolen candy with your dirty ass. I caught you once again. Look at him, y'all. He got stolen fucking candy. Look at this nigga, man. He's selling candy to people. Look at this guy. He don't even want to be seen because he know this guy got stolen candy. This nigga digging the garbage cans at the dollar store.
How do you steal something you dig out the garbage can for? Make it make sense, dumbass bitch. Get your dumb ass off the page, nigga. Stop trying to play like you got a victim, bitch. You ain't got no victims in this world. Niggas hustle, nigga. Niggas hustle hard, nigga.
That's not hustling hard, bum ass nigga.
You right, it ain't gotta be hard. Cause a
stolen-
motherfucker make it easy.
I bet you them dollars under there. You got stolen Laffy Taffies, stolen eggs.
Them Facebook dollars you got, nigga. Most of them is counterfeit, all of it.
Where's you going, man? To smoke? You got some yay on you?
Cause I don't feel like playing with nobody's kids.
Let me get some of that yay you got on you, huh? Oh, this your little crack stash, huh?
See, a life without a brain.
Come on, man. He said for one thing, I dug it out the trash can. I'm like,
wait, how can you steal something out of a trash can?
I Oh man!
And then he's out
good.
there selling it to people.
Like it's Girl Scout cookie, Girl Scout.
But if you want
cookies.
discount candy,
he's selling it for full price.
if you want discount candy, call it.
You go to the dollar store. This candy bar right now at the dollar store is $1.25. I give it to you for $1. Walking around like he's selling Girl Scout cookies or something.
That was funnier than hell, man. I couldn't believe it.
Crackhead.
Call it.
It was in the hood too.
Oh man. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's move on to the next one. You know, as always, Larry, one of our other favorite parts of the show is, besides every once in a while you call a crackhead, is we run across an asshole. But sometimes you can run across two assholes.
Oh, okay.
So I have a double nomination, and I'll let you choose, okay? So here's a double nomination for Asshole of the Week. First off, we have, coming to us from North Carolina, some corrections deputies.
Surveillance video capturing an inmate at the Camden County Detention Center getting beaten by deputies. 41-year-old Jarrett Hobbs is the inmate in this footage. The video starts off with Hobbs appearing to pick something off a bench in his cell. 1 second later, deputies burst in and appear to try to restrain it. Hobbs is punched in the head over and over again. We talked to his attorney, Harry Daniels, over the phone. What was your concern about his health? In a second video, the brawl then moves into the hallway. Hobbs is forced to the ground, some deputies still kicking him while he's down. There is not audio in either of the videos, so it's unclear what led up to this. Daniel says his client was suffering from a psychological episode and asked to be put in protective confinement.
That's protective confinement?
Is that's what I was thinking. I'm like, damn.
See, me and general population, you got to go through all that. I'm like, come on.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you rather be in population? Yeah, you wouldn't get your ass beat that bad.
Yeah, mental health issues. Like, man, mental health. Come on, man. They got to do something. They got to understand these people here already. Let's go to the other one.
And anyhow, yeah, that was, hey, let's go so that you can truly vote. Okay, now let's get into, this is a school teacher from Texas.
Down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Tonight, a Texas teacher out of a job after this video showing him spewing racist remarks at his middle school students went viral.
I think everybody thinks that, they're just not honest about it.
In the video circulating across social media, you can hear the students baffled, questioning their teacher, whose name has not been made public by the school district.
You are racist? You're saying you're like, you're
I
racist?
think everybody's a racist at that level.
No, he said you are racist.
I did. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest.
Wow.
Damn. You got these other idiots physically beating somebody up. And then you got this other idiot psychologically
beating people up. Could you believe that? Well,
yeah.
What was that egocentric where I believe I'm the superior race?
Hey, I'm not shocked, Tim. I'm just that happens in prisons. That happens in jails. Like I told you one time, I had a white friend of mine. He was capping off to the. I know brothers get beat up, but they beat Mexicans up, white people up too. I've seen it happen. I know we get beat down, and then like the stuff he said, I know that happens. I've seen it happen, and that's sad, but that's just how it is. If anybody doesn't believe that's reality, then they're lost, because that's just how it is all the time.
So who do we give the asshole? Can we give it a double award? Because I thought both of those guys.
I got to give it. Oh my God, both of them were jacked up.
Both of them were jacked up.
The guy was messing with kids. The other guy has obvious mental health issues because he asked. He said he needed help.
Isn't that something though? That if you ask for protective custody, hey, listen, I've got some real.
That is not protective custody.
I got some real issues X, Y, Z. Right.
Put me somewhere where I can get my mind together.
Yeah, and then they come in and apparently what provoked it all was he was like tapping on the wheel, bam, 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 bam. They probably were telling him like, hey, freaking stop. Bam, bam, bam,
That don't mean you. That don't mean you go in there whoop somebody's ass.
and then they go in there and apparently that's what provoked it. And
Or the thing about it is, when something like that happens, special team comes in and remove the person out. You don't do all that, but you can tell those are a bunch of punks. They couldn't fight the guy on one-on-one. And then the teacher, he just using his white privilege to suppress kids.
And sit there, and the kids call you out, and the kids called him out, and he's like, "Yep, yeah, you're right, yeah, okay, you're right, I'm racist."
Yeah, there's both of them are jacked up. You know, they both get assholes of the week. They're both wrong and excessive.
Well, okay, we'll give a double asshole of the award out this
too excessive.
week.
Too excessive physically and too excessive psychologically.
I'm just freaking saying, Larry, it's insane. But let's get with it because you got a fitness tip of the week.
Larry E from LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. Check me out on Instagram. LRE Fitness Solutions. Check me out on Facebook, LRE Fitness Solutions, and check me out on LinkedIn. Some stuff is on there also. LRE Fitness Solutions. My tip for the week is this. I'm gonna do some coaching a little bit when it comes to losing weight. If you're in a gym, you want to lose weight, use this method. Always try to do 30 minutes of cardio prior. 30 minutes to at least a couple of miles or whatever you do. Do some cardio prior to lifting weights, and you want to add the weightlifting into the tone. So when you lift weights and you're doing weight loss, when you're lifting weights, you always want to focus on using lightweight for high reps. So you might do 4 sets of 15 to 20, but real light weight. And in between doing those 4 sets of 15 to 20 reps, you can add in maybe some sit-ups, some crunches, work on your core, but you want to continually keep your body in constant motion, because lifting light weights, you can recover faster. Or even then, you can actually jump on a stationary bike during your rest period, because you want to rest between 30 seconds and 1 minute while you do your weightlifting. So weight loss, do some cardio first. You want to use lightweight, high reps, 4 sets possibly, 3 different workouts, and then rest periods between 60 seconds and a minute, and maybe throw in some core work. You got it from me, certified personal trainer, LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving.
All righty then. My thought for the week for you is, what lies behind you and what lies before you is nothing in comparison to what lies inside of you. So make the best of what lies inside of you and make a great day for everybody, because you got the ability to do it. In any event, people, we are out of here, and until next week, this is Smooth Tim and Larry E. We're going to say peace, and we are out of here. Hey, and I'd like to leave them with just a little bit of crackhead video. Y'all have a great week. Bye.
Gigi picked me up and we were going to Mama's work. Mama's window was busted.
What happened? Who did it?
A crackhead. And stole her wallet.
Crackheads broke your mama's window and stole her wallet?
Yeah, her wallet. And there was her window. It was her truck. And I was cold on the way.